Hey guys, it is Monday morning, September the 27th, 2021. We're here for another video today. Um, Today we're going to talk about why brick and mortar stores, shopping malls, etc., why they fail and don't survive. Um, so I got a little list here with some notes, just some things I was thinking about that some of the things that come to mind, even with my experiences as a consumer going into a brick and mortar type place. Okay. Now, if it's an appliance retailer or a place like, where you go to buy lawnmowers or whatever, or if I'm going to deal with a place where there's a salesperson on the floor, I don't want that salesperson being picky and pushy about trying to sell stuff. I know that's part of it's a very important part of their job. Like the most important part of their job is to sell. I want that person to be informed, and I want that person to understand me as a person while I'm investing my time in them trying to track down the right product. Okay, so that's one thing, and that wasn't even in my list of notes. So annoying salespeople, people don't like that. Um, I can think of a few retailers right off the bat. Here's one right here on my list that never really developed a real good online program. One of them seems to be closing down stores year after year after year in shopping malls where they had anchor stores. They were anchor stores. I don't need to. I don't need to mention any names. You guys know which one I'm talking about. Um, and then there was a an electronics store that still technically exists, but very very small. It's like one location out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, here's another one. And on that note, electronics stores that sell cell phones. Okay, so you had this store that you could go to in the 1980s, buy a television set. You could piece together a stereo system. They had speakers, receivers, tape decks, record players, 8-track players, whatever the hell you needed. They even CD players came out and started getting popular around, they got popular around 1988 was the big year when they really started taking off. They started selling them. And then you could also buy like capacitors, resistors, transistors, that kind of stuff. You could get all your electronics needs taken care of. They had a PA section if you needed a PA. They were just an overall electronics store. And then one day they walked in there and they just decided to start selling cell phones. Well, regardless of who your carrier is, don't you want to go directly? Do you think you could probably get the best deal dealing directly with the carrier? That makes no sense for just a run of the mill electronics store that's been around forever, that was known for a good reputation, to just strictly start selling cell phones. I believe that was the cause of the demise there. Um, Three, price matching. All right, your competitor has the product for a cheaper price, you match the price. Took people forever to do that. Um, Companies used to offer layaway. So if you didn't have all the money up front, you could at least get what you wanted, put it on layaway, pay it off, hopefully get it, whether it's school clothes for the kids or Christmas presents or whatever. You could get people things they need and want and afford it later on. Um, that also goes along with uh, like next day delivery, or even some companies are doing same day delivery. Um, You also have to be able to compete with online retailers. Um, I mean, there's that one that everybody knows about. I don't even need to mention the name. I mean, they've got the power. They sat back and paid attention. They watched, the brick and mortar starting to fail. They've cashed in on success. And now, you know, it seems as though, at least right now, that online retailer that is virtually unstoppable because he sat back and paid attention. Here's another one that I came up with. Not listening to customers. Okay? If you have repeat customers that come into your store, now I can think of one right now. There's a big box retail store that used to have, a few years back, I know some other YouTubers that talked about this too. They used to have quite the selection of CDs and cassettes and stuff in their electronics department. And I guess, and right around 2000 that going online and downloading music and stealing music became popular, and then they started catching on to that, and they stopped people from doing that. So now they got people buying digital copies online, and then now you have sites like Spotify. Well, people like me, I want a physical copy of every piece of music I own that I listen to. I don't want to have it on my phone. Sound doesn't sound great on my phone. So I know at least this one here, like that big department store, their CD section is about this wide. Their vinyl record section is about this wide. That's kind of ass backwards, isn't it? That the older technology is all of a sudden more popular. But, nothing wrong with vinyl. I own a lot of vinyl and it's great. But, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Um, you know, I'm a customer. I have money. I come into your store to buy stuff in your store. You're not carrying what I want. So now I go to your store to buy work shoes. To buy a $15 pair of work shoes like every 4 or 5 months when my work shoes wear out. That's it. That's it. I go to a record store now to buy records or CDs or whatever I want, or I'll go to online because that big brick and mortar retailer is not carrying what I want. I believe more retailers should be conducting surveys with customers or be paying attention to what's going on. Who comes in their store and just, browses? And then who comes in the store and actually buys stuff? Doesn't it make sense that a 40, 45-year-old person with kids, teenage kids, that the parents are going to have more disposable income than the kids? Ultimately, the parents decide how that money is spent. Yeah, they can give the kids an allowance and stuff. The kids can get a job, but the parents have more disposable income. So why is it that because we age, we're all of a sudden out of the loop? I'm still here. I'm still going to buy stuff. Just because I get older, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop listening to music. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop watching my TV shows. I just want you to make the stuff available that I like. Because there's a lot of that catering to the kids. They're doing it with the radio now too, at least in this Philadelphia, South Jersey area. Every station, like every other station on there, we have a country station, we have an 80s station, we have a classic rock station. The rest of the dial on FM is all allocated to young people. So I think brick and mortar companies need to do a little bit better job of paying attention to the people that are actually spending money, conducting surveys, taking down information. Who are the people that are buying? What are they buying? And that's how you form a decision instead of just looking at trends. You know. So here's another one too. Know the area where take time to know the area, and this goes back to surveying and looking at studies, conducting studies. Know the area where that location is for your business, whether it's a mall, a store, whatever the hell it is. Know that location, know what the people in that particular area are looking for, because town A might be different than town B. Okay, you have stores in both locations. Yeah, they're going to be different. Let's say you have an electronics store. These people want electronic kits. This town over here may want PA stuff and stereo equipment. So know the area and know what your people want and carry it. Grocery stores. This was another one that I came up with. Just for instance, with grocery stores, healthy choice offerings. I'm on blood pressure medicine now. I can't just go yank stuff off the shelf in a store anymore and do whatever. I gotta watch my salt intake and take care of myself. I'm getting older now, and if healthy choice offerings aren't made available, I can't really go to your store and be expected to buy stuff. So anyway, we're going to bring the video to a wrap because we're at almost 12 minutes now. But these are just give you guys some of the ideas why I think brick and mortar stores tend to fail. They don't have their plans together. If it's like a furniture place or whatever, with the deliveries, knowing what your customers want, knowing your customers and what they want, and carrying it, and knowing the area, being aware. So anyway, that's going to bring this one to a wrap. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you like more videos like this, hit the like, subscribe, ring the bell, and all that good stuff, and we will see you on the next video. Have a good day, guys.